Lighting is shit. Is this working? Is this working? So, TikTok has been banned. And I don't understand how people aren't more upset. I don't know what this video is going to be. I don't know how much effort I'm going to put into this. I'm just going to talk about how this is fascism. This is fascism. It is. I might have a few notes right here. I'm probably just going to mostly be unscripted. Because I don't know what else to say. I called this 2 years ago at a family reunion, aka Thanksgiving, when books were first being banned, especially in Florida, where I currently am. And it's so obvious what this is going to end up being like. So I'm going to give you my prediction right now. The CEO of TikTok is going to Trump's inauguration. It's banned right now. But as soon as Trump gets into office, right after he sends ICE after legal and illegal immigrants, and a lot of my friends who are American citizens because they have birthright, right after he does that, and he goes and he sends them back to where they've never even been before, he's going to unban TikTok. And the reason for this is because he's going to want to seem like a hero, like a savior. And that is exactly what is going to happen. People are going to say that he is a hero for unbanning TikTok, even though back in 2020, he's the original guy that proposed TikTok to be banned. Because, in the words of the Wizard of Oz, paraphrasing here, when society has a similar problem or an enemy number one, the world is whole. And usually, the people targeted are minorities. Public enemy number one. We saw it with black people. We saw it with Haitians recently. We've seen it with Jewish people in World War II. And now, public enemy number one is trans people. 1% of the global population, not just the United States, global. Transgender people make up 1% of the worldwide population. When society has a shared public enemy number one, no matter who it is, society always comes together. Even when public enemy number one has done nothing wrong. I'm terrified for a future that I've not even had. I'm terrified of my future because I'm not sure I'll have one. Right now, they've already banned our books. They're already taking away our rights to information. And they're deporting people, starting tomorrow. And it's so sickening how I've seen the dehumanization of immigrants just because they're immigrants. Those are still people. I have friends who are children of immigrants, legal immigrants. And the way that this is going to affect them scares the shit out of me. Because these are some of the nicest people, the best people I've ever met in my entire life. And they're about to get deported to a place they've never even been.
Here is what Trump has promised is going to happen the day after tomorrow on his first day in office. Trump says your head is going to spin when you see what's going to happen. Trump says he's going to launch the largest deportation in American history to remove all the people in the country illegally. Even though he promised that's going to happen on day one, it's actually going to happen on Tuesday, and it's going to start in Chicago. Trump says he's going to close the border on day one, but hasn't said exactly what that means. Travelers will likely still be able to get through. Trump says he's going to end automatic citizenship for everyone born in the US. Trump says he's going to end automatic citizenship for everyone born in the US. He also says he's going to give get-out-of-jail-free cards to those convicted or charged in the insurrection on the US Capitol on January 6th. He's going to put a 25% tariff on everything imported from Mexico and Canada, and add a 10% tariff on stuff from China. Trump has also claimed he's going to end the Russia-Ukraine war before he takes office. That means he has until tomorrow to do that. Good luck with keeping that promise. Trump has also said he will cut money to schools that push critical race theory, transgender quote-unquote insanity, and other racial, sexual, or political content. He will also cut money to any schools that have a vaccine or mask mandate. All of these are his promises.
I never want to hear someone say that an allegation ruins a man's life ever again. And I am a man. I never want to hear someone make that claim ever the fuck again. Never. Because that's a fucking joke. Why are we focused on ruining our economy, essentially? Because here's what banning immigrants is going to do. It's going to tank our economy because guess who our farmers are? I cannot afford to break another microphone with my screaming, so let me calm down really quick. Do you know what a tariff is? Yeah, a tariff. A tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenues, or protect competitive advantages. Governments impose tariffs to raise revenue, protect domestic industries, or exert political leverage over another country. Do you know who pays for those tariffs? That's right. You and I. People just like you and I. The people. The working middle and lower class. That's who pays for tariffs. A tariff is a tax. A tariff is a tax placed on goods when they cross national borders. The most common type is an import tariff, which taxes goods brought into a country. In 1900, tariffs accounted for more than 41% of U.S. government income. But by 2013, that number had fallen to just 2%. The U.S. Congress has the power to set tariffs. However, under specific law, the president can also impose tariffs, particularly in cases involving national security or in economic emergencies. Girl, we've been in economic Hello? Girl, we've been in an economic emergency for fucking a century now. All right, a decade, 10 years, yeah. The impact of a tariff depends on whether the country imposing it is large or small in terms of its ability to influence world prices. Higher prices for imported coffee, for example. The price of imported coffee rises, making it more expensive for U.S. consumers and businesses, such as coffee shops. In a large open economy, such as the U.S., the effects of a tariff are mixed. Consumers, both individuals and businesses, are negatively impacted by the higher prices. However, the domestic industry, protected by the tariff, such as the coffee producers, benefits by being able to sell more of their product. The government also benefits by collecting additional revenue from the tariff. Do you know how many things we get from Mexico imported to us a day? We're so cooked economically. Here's what's going to happen now. Because who do you think our farmers and our construction workers are? They're basically servants, like indentured servants, most of the time. That is an actual statistic. When I find it, I'll put it up on the screen, but I read it somewhere and I know that it's true because it was like actually like a factual resource. Our economy is going to tank so bad, we are probably going to realistically see the second Great Depression. Before I see any of y'all going in the comments saying, "Oh well, actually, Trump's the reason why we had a good little time, and Biden and Harris are the reason why our taxes were so high." Wrong! You are actually incorrect. The reason why y'all's taxes and y'all's income was so good for a little bit was because Trump was riding off of Obama's work. And then when Trump ruined the economy, it was when Biden and Harris got into office. So when Biden and Harris were in office, the economy was shit because Trump ruined it. Trump ruined what Obama built. Google's free, guys. Come on. Come on. Did we not learn from when y'all, like, it skyrocketed by 908%, the search, what is a tariff, and can I change my vote? The day after the election? Newsflash, guys. Here's a tutorial on how you can change your vote. Today, I'm going to show you how to change your vote. First, you're going to look up how to change your vote. And then, you're going to live in fear for the next 4 years for your friends and family, and maybe even yourself, if you are not a white, cisgendered, straight, racist ass, old ass, monopoly money ass old man. Good luck, because you've low-key fucked us. Like, economically, you've low-key fucked us. Us being the lower and middle working class. If you make over $300K a year, you'll be fine. But the rest of us, we are fucking cooked, dude. Each and every single one of us. Congratulations. Trump has stated time and time again, himself, that he is for the top 1% of earners. Millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. He's not gonna help you. He's not gonna save you. He's not gonna help you. Because he never had good intentions for you. All you are to him is a pesky little fucking ant that he can just step on or over to get what he wants. Which is more power, more money, and less responsibility. And the fact that y'all don't fucking see what he's doing, Fascism 101, is absolutely fucking mind-boggling to me. So here it is again, one more time from a different source. Given that the US is a net importer, higher tariffs will increase prices on some retail goods or business inputs, adding to inflation. Adding to inflation. Like, yes, you'll have more job opportunities. But also, employers aren't going to want to fucking hire you because the fucking Mexican dude that was working for him to build his fucking buildings was basically working for free. And now, this employer is going to have to pay you at least minimum wage. So even then, employers aren't going to want to fucking hire you because you just took away their basically free worker. Congratulations. And the fact that Trump said he wants to use the military to expedite that process is genuinely terrifying. Because how many people are going to die because of that? Because immigrants are still people. They're still people. And if y'all use the excuse of, "Oh, wow, they're the most criminal." No, they're not. They are statistically one of the least offending races. Of any. These motherfuckers aren't committing crimes because they're trying to stay under the radar. The people that are committing the most crimes are us, white men. That's who's committing the most crimes, guys. Again, I can't understand. It is unfathomable how gullible and stupid you people are. And your mother should be ashamed of you. I'm sorry, that was a little mean, but come on, are you serious? Again, like I said, let's read it though. Take note of the industries most vulnerable to an immigration crackdown. Construction, where an estimated 13.7% of the workforce is undocumented, including 39% of plasters and stucco masons, 36% of drywall and ceiling tile installers and tapers, 36% of roofers, and 31% of painters and paper hangers, to name a few. And agriculture, farmers, where 12.7% of workers are undocumented, including 28% of graders and sorters, the people who evaluate and classify agricultural products. I know half of y'all are gonna say that I'm crazy, I'm out of my fucking mind when this video is released. But trust, come back to this video in a year and a half. Come back to this video in a year and a half and see how not false that I was. See how correct that I was. Because every time I predict something about this motherfucker, it is true. I predicted that lavender marriages, where gay people on the opposite ends of the gay marry each other for protection, would skyrocket. I was right. I predicted that child sexual assault would skyrocket. I was right. I predicted that assaults on women would skyrocket. I was right. I said that teen pregnancy would skyrocket. I was right. And yet, here y'all are in my comments calling me fucking crazy. Here y'all are at my dinner table, because some of y'all are my family watching this video, calling me fucking crazy. Saying that's never gonna happen. And then, like, the next month it happens. And then you'll have to text me embarrassed and go, I can't believe I didn't trust you. But you'll continue to disregard what I'm saying. Even though, not to toot my own horn, I am relatively educated when it comes to this kind of topic, because it affects my gay ass directly. But y'all don't want to listen, huh? Nah. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all never do want to listen. It's crazy. Cause nah. Answer this. If you have a genuinely good answer, I will pin your comment. Instead of focusing on climate change and the deterioration of the earth, instead of focusing on gun control and school shootings and making schools safer so that children don't fear going to school every day of their lives, instead of doing anything meaningful like that, we want to focus on banning gay marriage and banning healthcare for adults. Oh, well, it's mutilating their bodies. It's not your body. Why do you give a fuck? Genuine question. Because I know that I can't appeal to y'all. So I'm going to try to do my best to keep up with your logic, right? Why does it fucking matter what an adult chooses to do with their body? It doesn't. So a woman can get a boob job or a BBL, and y'all don't got nothing to say. She can get implants in her cheeks. She can get a nose job, and y'all got nothing to say. Which, that's all gender affirming care, by the way. A man can take Viagra, get a vasectomy, which is paid for his health care. We're not even gonna get into that. Alright? Male privilege is fucking real. I have experienced it on a few times, and I don't know how to feel about it. Men can take steroids to have, like, fake fucking muscles. And it's fine. But as soon as a trans person who is an adult wants to do something that makes them happy, all of a sudden, they're grooming children. All of a sudden, they're predators. And it's really funny that most of the people that have called trans people, like, pedophiles, most of those people, like Matt Gaetz, most of those people are quite literally proven sexual offenders themselves. With minors. With children. Oh, well, Ava Chris Tyson was a pedophile before she was trans. She was a pedophile before she was anything. Like, if we really want to make the argument of, oh, well, Ava Chris Tyson, she was objectifying minor children before she came out as trans, when she still identified as a man. Also, by your standards, all priests are pedophiles then. All priests are predators. All Christians are predators. The church, predators. All of them. By your definition, because if one trans person is a bad person, then all of them are. So, white men in general, when all of us would, by definition, be awful fucking people if one person in that group of people defined who everyone was as a generalization. Y'all don't want to confront that, though. Just like y'all don't want to confront fucking climate change and global warming. Because apparently it's fake. If you genuinely believe that, please never procreate. Oh, well, Trump's not a fascist. Let me just read some things that he's done. All right, he's by definition a total xenophobic, racist, male chauvinist bastard. And he's not a fascist yet, but he will be because now he's in power. He is a by the book authoritarian. This is what I mean when I say that he's going to be the downfall of democracy. Because he doesn't like democracy. He likes being a dictator. He's a dictator. And he's trying to be one. Also, are we just going to completely ignore all of his violent tendencies and, like, all of his threats? There are literal compilations of the threats that he's made against people different from him on live TV. Like, girl, what are we doing? Like, he's by definition using fascist political tactics. Like, by definition. This man's, at the RNC, his supporters quoted Hitler. They quoted Hitler. It doesn't get much more cut and dry than that. To be clear, not being a fascist is an extremely low fucking bar to have for a president. Trump really is trying to discredit the coming presidential election. He really has hired officials with ties to white nationalist groups. He really did promise to ban all Muslims from the United States and implemented new rules toward that goal. Said that a Mexican-American judge is unfit to preside over cases involving him, called Mexican immigrants rapists, empathized with neo-Nazis after Charlottesville, and falsely claimed Muslim Americans celebrated the 9/11 attacks, among many, many other trans motherfucking aggressions. Things could always get worse. There really are leaders who suspended elections, dissolve legislatures, throw large numbers of citizens into camps without trial or appeal, who turn their nations into one-party states oriented around a cult of national rebirth. Wait, I recognize at least one of those. At least two of those, actually. If you can figure out which two I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below. This is my version of Dora the Explorer.
I don't give a fuck if you're an active participant or not. Leave a comment.
Some of these things haven't happened yet, but they could. It came terrifyingly close to happening in Greece, where the explicitly neo-Nazi Golden Dawn became the third largest political party in the mid-2010s. And if and when it does happen in America, we need to have the right terms and tools to confront it. I stand by what I have already said about Trump and fascism, but there is one change. I'm struck now with Trump's growing willingness to employ physical violence, specifically on protesters. He literally wants to give immunity to police officers when they commit crimes. He said that himself. So when we get a BLM 2, I'm gonna fight with y'all, but I'm also gonna say I told you so. I'm just so... It would be an absolute lie if I sat here and I said that I wasn't scared. I'm terrified for where this country's gonna go. Mainly because I can't get the fuck out. Most people can't afford to do that. I'm just so sick and tired of people acting like there isn't any issue. Because there so blatantly is. There so blatantly is. There are so many issues. And y'all just don't give a fuck. And I don't think you ever will until it's too late. Because no matter what minorities always tell you, history will absolutely always repeat itself. In the wise words of Martin Luther King Jr., we adopt the means of nonviolence because our end is a community at peace with itself. We will try to persuade with our words, but if our words fail, we will try to persuade with our acts. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. I just talked to my boyfriend before I recorded this video, before I decided to sit down and record this video. And I just started to cry. Talking about TikTok of all things being banned. And it's not the ban that I am upset at. It's the response. It's the lack of response. It's the lack of anger. It's the lack of upset. It's the lack of understanding where this is all going, even though it is right in front of everyone's face. It's punched you in the face and you've still somehow fucking missed it, dude. Because just like I said at the very start of this video, exactly what he's going to do. He's going to unban TikTok, and then everyone's going to praise him, and then everyone's going to be able to get behind him morally in their minds because he unbanned TikTok. So everyone's going to lump up like a little fucking cult behind him for every fucking move he makes for the next 4, maybe 8 years. No matter what that move is. And when trans kids are being forced into God knows what, because they're already being forced genital inspections being done, like they're trying to put that in place. When gay marriage is gone, when interracial marriage is gone, and when contraceptives are banned, only then will people really realize what they voted for and what they set out to destroy without even knowing it. Because America is so uneducated that they chose a convicted felon over a lawyer. And that is something that I will never forget. I'm going to protest. I encourage you to go to protests. I turn 18 in 4 months. Less than that, actually. And when protests are banned, peaceful or not, it's gonna happen, alright? I don't fucking want it to happen, but something has to happen. When protests, peaceful or not, are banned, and protesters, peaceful or not, are shot and killed for simply attending, because that's exactly what Trump said he'll do, maybe then people will realize how fascist this shit actually is. And that is exactly why I said that I'm scared for my future, because I don't know if I'll get one. Because I'm not going to stop fighting for what I believe in. I'm not going to stop fighting for the rights of women and children and trans people and gay people and black people. I will not stop fighting for those rights. I never will. And I'm going to make a habit of being an active fucking participant in it, especially now. So inevitably, one day, if I ever become a statistic of one of the lives lost due to hatred and bigotry, I really, really hope that I at least am not just a number. And I really hope that possibly, if more kids like me die, that their deaths don't just fall on deaf ears, like they have so far. And like Martin Luther King Jr. said, no one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. And I think after I realized that, that was truly the first time that I have felt alive in the past month. Other than the fact that we get most of our information on most things from TikTok, this ban is so bad for most small businesses, influencers, obviously. I've seen the memes, right? Influencers the day TikTok gets banned, and it's like the celebrity working at McDonald's meme, that fucking thing, right? But this is so bad for so many reasons. One, because it's censorship. Absolutely, it's censorship. Two, because it is extremely bad for small businesses. And 3, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Plain and simple. There's not much to argue about here. The TikTok app being banned as a whole is really fucking bad. And this is going to also impact the economy. It is. And it really does suck. I'm going to add a little joke, right? Just as TikTok was being banned, all of my videos started getting upwards 1,000 to 10,000 likes. As TikTok was being banned. If that's not Nagito Komaeda ass fucking luck, I don't know what is, dude. I am the ultimate unlucky person in the entire world. That's insane. This is the end of an era. This is the end of an incredibly iconic era. It's so sad, man. Like, it's actually so sad. I've been on TikTok since it was Musical.ly. Probably shouldn't have been. But all my thirst traps saved of Victor from Arcane are gone, dude. There is nothing to smile about. I didn't even get to save them on my phone. I didn't even get to download them, dude. At least I still have Creepcast. Oh yeah, and also, did you guys know that the guy that's trying to ban Red Note now, guess what his last name is? Guess what his... I'll give you a second. His last name is Cotton! This motherfucker's... The dude who's trying to ban Red Note's last name is Cotton. Don't even talk to me! The irony of that is fucking crazy, bro. That is peak colonizer activity. But yeah, to sum this whole video up, TikTok being banned is going to work in favor of Trump and his re-election, because as soon as he gets into office, he's going to make the effort to unban it to seem like the hero and the savior. And please, 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 for the love of God, do not fall for that shit, because that is exactly what that orange motherfucker wants you to do. I'm begging of you, please do not praise him when he unbans TikTok, because he himself approved of the ban before he realized that that didn't benefit him, aka literally yesterday. Please, I beg of you, do not fall for this absolute scumbag's tricks. Please, do not be like Dream.
You can't ban a conversation that's already been had. They can take away this app, but they can't take away the information we got from this app. TikTok taught us other ways of living, and that had consequences for them. TikTok showed us perspectives that are traditionally not shown. That had consequences for them. TikTok gave us community. It taught us to demand better treatment from our bosses, from our relationships. So yeah, it's sad it's going. But if you look at history, you see that every time they try to take away one thing, something beautiful returns in its presence. The rich nightlife culture of the 1920s was a direct result of prohibition and banning alcohol. Speakeasies began popping up and inviting women, people of color, and queer people, instead of establishment bars that had always banned them. And everyone knows where the girlies and gays go is bound to be way more fun anyway. Not only is it a known fact that banned books get an increase in sales, but books that were banned during the Civil War because they talked about the evils of slavery, guess what? They became internationally famous and led to the abolition of slavery. All of us together have shifted culture and politics because of this app. We have left this place smarter and wiser than when we found it. Armed with the knowledge that we gained here from each other, we will find somewhere else to go and exist. Together. This isn't goodbye, it's just closing time.
I know this isn't a positive video. I know I said that I would be making positive videos in the future. I'm actually working on a Hannibal video right now, and why I love the show and its artistic depictions of basically everything. But in the current political climate, it doesn't feel right with me. Even if no one sees this fucking video. It doesn't feel right for me to just sit around and do fucking nothing while I watch the people that I love around me get deported, attempt suicide, live in fear. And the fact that so many people. Nah, I'm not even gonna say that. I'll never understand why the one thing that we choose to hate the most is love. And remember, kids, the next time somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes, they would.